Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to the second episode of Q&A, where we're going to talk about a very, very interesting topic, which is money. Does everybody agree that money is a very important area of our life? We all want to earn a lot of money. We all want to live and create a prosperous life for ourselves. But if you look around yourself, you see that most people are struggling in the area of money. For some reason, money is always this. There's always this constant struggle around money. So we thought that we should keep a special episode, on money and answer questions around money. So today, once again, I'd like to thank each one of you for the overwhelming response we've received. We've received a lot of questions. I'm going to take all these questions one by one and try and answer all your questions around this very, very important aspect of our life, which is money. Okay. So stay tuned. Let me just open up the first question. Sorry. This is from a lady in Bangalore, and she says, first of all, she's wishing a very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year. She says she's been a student of mine and she had attended a workshop in Mumbai, and this was sometime back in June 2012. Now, after that, she got married, and she's today living a very happy married life. Has a kid. Both her husband and her are both of them are working. But nowadays, she says, I'm noticing that we get into some or other unwanted expenses, and the more we try to save, the more expenses come at the door. It's not like we give any donations. Wherever needed, we help other people happily. So she's saying that she's doing, all the good things around money. She's donating, she's giving, but she's noticing that, somehow expenses just seem to come. And the more she tries to avoid, the more expenses come up at the door. And that is making her really frustrated. So she says that, so just wanted to know what we should do to change our thought process to get out of this situation. I'm really fed up of this now. Please advise. So this is my answer. The results in our life really show what is happening inside us, right? We've all learned this, that our outside world is really a reflection of our inside world, which means that, there is something going on inside. Either it could be a lot of anxiety around the expenses, or there could be this thought process that, oh my God, I'm not able to hold on to my money. Somehow money just comes, goes. The more you get anxious about money and the more you think about the money going away, the more you will attract situations and circumstances where you will find that expenses will just all of a sudden come up, All of a sudden you will see the car break down and you will get a 40,000 bill. All of a sudden you will see that somebody falls sick at home, and then you see that, you have to pay a bill of 1 lakh. It just seems as if, expenses are just coming from nowhere, and we're just not able to answer this. The reason for this is, it's very clear in law of attraction, as we say, what you give out is what you get back. What you think is what you receive in your life. So imagine a situation where on one side you want a lot of money, but on the other side you're constantly anxious about money not being there in your life. So when you create anxiety, the vibration that you're sending out is that of anxiety. And the more anxious you get, the more you will attract people, events, situations, circumstances, and all of that which is going to keep you anxious. So the first thing you need to do is to calm down. I know it's not easy, especially when the money situation is tight and expenses keep coming up. It's not an easy situation, but let me tell you that the more anxious you get about money, the more challenges you will face around money. So the best way to do this is, one of the easiest ways I've seen is to really start practicing a little more gratitude, be a little more grateful towards what is going on good in your life, acknowledging the good things that are happening in your life, and staying tuned to that positive vibration of abundance, of prosperity. Remember, your mind is like a radio, and you are broadcasting signals constantly based on your thought process. And the more you're thinking about scarcity, the more you're anxious about money, the more you're thinking that I don't have money, the more you're sending those vibrations, and more of those situations and circumstances will keep coming into your life, and nothing ever changes in the money area of your life. So my immediate recommendation to you is calm down a little bit, Do a little bit of practices, the morning practices of gratitude, do a little bit of visualization, create in your mind the picture of prosperity and hold the picture of prosperity in your mind. Create affirmations around prosperity, do a little bit of that work. Essentially, you need to change the picture inside. And when you change the picture inside, your thought process will change. The way you act and react to money will change. Your behavior towards money will change. And all of a sudden, you will start seeing the results also changing. So please follow these little tips, and I'm sure you will you will definitely experience positive results in your life. I've gone through all of this, so I'm telling you out of my own personal experience, where I used to just have so many expenses come up and never understood really where all those came from. So just follow these little tips. Be more grateful for what you already have in your life, and the more grateful you are, even if there are difficult situations, be grateful that these situations are here to teach you something. Remember that even the difficult situations around money that are coming are trying to teach you something. They're trying to teach you that don't be so anxious. Things will definitely work out. So please do this, and you will definitely see a lot of improvement in the money area of your life. Okay, so I go to the next question. The next question is around. She says that she's done the program and she's already done the 30-day program that we generally recommend to our participants. And she says that do I keep on doing these rituals? Do I keep on practicing these things on a daily basis? Or do I just do it for 30 days and then I let it go? Well, keeping your mind in control is an ongoing process. You just cannot, it's like, any habit that you create, we all eat food every day. The same thing needs to be done in taking care of our minds. Our minds are like monkeys. For it to go off track is very, very easy. And you would find that, if you don't practice these things even for a few days, all of a sudden you find a lot of stuff changing in your outside world. That's essentially because your vibes are changing, your thoughts are changing, your actions are changing, and you don't even know why. Okay, so daily practice of taking care of your mind is critical. It's as critical as taking care of your body. Exercising every day is only going to take care of your physical body. Taking a bath every day, going to the doctor to take care of your body is necessary, but that's going to take care of your body only. But the same thing needs to be done for our mind, because our mind is really what creates our life. So please keep going, keep doing these practices lifelong, I would say. The reason we say do it for 30 days is because they actually create a new habit for you. And when a new pattern is formed, it almost becomes like an automatic process. It's like when you first time try to drive a car, it's pretty difficult. You have to take care of the accelerator, you have to take care of the brake, you have to take care of what's going on in front of you, what's going on behind you. And if somebody even tries to disturb you, say, hey, don't disturb me. I need to focus and take care of my car right now. I'm driving. But over a period of time, when you keep driving, it becomes a natural process. It becomes a it becomes like a subconscious process. And today, when you drive, you don't even know that you've driven and you've reached the destination. So the same thing needs to happen with our daily practices. We really need to keep doing it until it becomes second nature. It becomes part of you. And so that when you do these practices, they don't feel like a burden. They don't feel like you're doing something special. Just make it part of your daily life. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Let's go to the third question. This is around law of attraction, law of money attraction. That's the title that he has given. He says, you wonderfully explained how our subconscious beliefs are formed and how they control our decisions. But what's the secret behind money flow? Very interesting question. It seems money neither depends on your education, neither on wealth, beliefs, etc. If we take a list of super rich people, almost everybody is not so highly educated. Some people don't even expect money in their life, and they unexpectedly get money into their life. And he says that sometimes you see even wealthy people becoming almost poor in no time. So what is the real secret behind the flow of money? Does money have some kind of hidden element of attraction? Is it connected to your karma, or what is it? So very interesting question. The way I would like to answer it is, once again, going back to we are the creators of our life through our thoughts. The thought is really the root of all creation. Thoughts are very, very creative. So it doesn't matter what your education is. Let's say there's a person who's got less education, but if he or she is constantly thinking about abundance, constantly thinking about creating wealth in his or her life, he or she is going to attract the situations and circumstances and ideas and all the circumstances and ideas and situations would come into this person's life, as a result of which the person really becomes rich and wealthy. So it's all around the mindset. It's really, really connected to the mindset of the person. What are the beliefs around money? Right? Actually, you've written that it's not connected to beliefs, whereas the fact is that all of the money situation in our life is controlled around our beliefs, not only around the beliefs around money, but also beliefs around ourselves. So, for example, my belief about myself is that I'm not so good, I'm not so capable, I don't deserve good things in my life. I would end up taking actions which would actually give me results like I'm not so good, I am not, uh, uh, I'm not capable, I can't achieve these things in my life. So anything to do with the self-image will affect the money area of your life. And the second is around the programming around money. So we've been so strongly programmed around money in our childhood, specifically when we were very, very young, typically till the age of about 7, 8. Whatever we hear from our environment, from our parents, from our teachers, from our gurus, even religious leaders, what we listen from our media, what we watch in movies, all of this influences our belief systems around money. So, for example, in our childhood, most people would have heard about these beliefs like money, money does not grow on trees. You have to work very hard for money. Money is the root of all evil. Money, too much running behind too much money makes you a bad person. Um, you know, uh, Rich people are not good. They have a lot of ego. They have attitude. So these kind of beliefs around money, around rich people, are all in our subconscious mind. We don't even know that these beliefs are residing in ourselves. I remember watching movies in my childhood, like movies like Sholay and movies like in that era, and you would find that most of the rich people, like zamindars and these people, they always used to exploit farmers. They always used to, uh, you know, really suck their blood. So there was this thought process in my mind that Thakurs are not good, zamindars are not good, and they always do wrong things to poor people. They always exploit them. We as children, we don't understand whether that's a real thing, whether it's for fact, whether it is, something in the movie. But as a child, we just look at these movies and we start assuming that that is the truth. In fact, in my childhood, I remember that, we used to have some really rich people in the building, where we used to live. And those people used to come in big cars and they used to walk out of the cars and, they had this attitude and ego. And looking at them, I always had some kind of resentment in my mind that, oh, rich people, they think that, they have something special or something great. But remember that when we have these belief systems, it makes us behave in a particular manner. It makes us to take actions in a particular manner. Like, for example, if my belief is that money is not so important, money is not as important as love, then, I would probably sacrifice all my money for the sake of love. Now, it doesn't mean that, you should not take care of your loved ones. But what would happen is you would stop paying attention to money. And then as a result, you would end up spending money like crazy just for their happiness. And you will find that, you're not managing your money well. And as a result, you're always struggling in the area of money. Okay? Let's say that your belief is that to earn money, you have to work very hard. Now, if that's your real strong belief, and when I ask this question in my seminars, most people say that. So you have to work very hard to earn money. And then I tell them that what if you're able to make money easily, obviously ethically, but easily, what would you say? So for most people, it's hard to believe. So what happens is for these people who believe that you have to work very, very hard to earn money, they are not able to digest easy money. Easy money in the sense, something which is ethically earned, but it's coming easy. Like, for example, lottery winners, people who win lotteries, money just comes to them all of a sudden. They, win 1 crore, 2 crores, 5 crores, and all of a sudden, they get a chunk of money in their life. Now there's an interesting research done on people who won lotteries. What they found is that after 2 years of winning the lotteries, they found that these people almost come back to the same situation, or they've actually ended up in a worse situation than what they started off. So for most of these people, what happens is they were able to bring the money into their life because they were really desirous of bringing that, but they're not able to hold on to it because their subconscious programming about money is not correct. So what happens is they end up, giving loans to wrong people. They would end up investing in the wrong places. They would end up, spending money like crazy because all of a sudden they have this money and they don't know how to handle it. And they would just go around splurting and splurging the money and probably get into bad habits, because now they have extra money with them. And eventually they find out that, in a certain period of time, maybe about a year's time or 2 years' time, they're back to normal. So I experienced this in my own life. Whatever the amount of money used to come, it just used to go out. It used to go out like crazy. There's always somebody waiting for that money. And sometimes I would even attract people who would come and tell me that, Sunil, I'm in real trouble. I'm in real trouble. Can you please help me? And even though I being in trouble myself, I would actually pull out my checkbook and write a check to this person, and this money would never come back. So these are some of these experiences have really taught me that the best way to really understand whether your programming around money is good or not is to check your results. If results are not going good, if you're not making good progress in your money, in the growth in your money, if you're not able to hold on to money, if you're attracting wrong people into your life, let's say you're attracting the wrong business partners, let's say you're getting always into legal lawsuits, or it could be that you're not able to stick on to one job. You keep changing your job from one place to another and second place to the third place. It means that somewhere you're not allowing money to come into your life. Now, you may be the most educated person as far as money is concerned. You may be an MBA in finance. You may be an expert in stock markets. You may be probably a financial planner yourself. But as long as you don't fix the programs inside, unfortunately, you don't get the results outside. And fixing the inside means fixing our belief systems, beliefs about money. Sometimes we also hear from our religious leaders, that ऐसे के पीछे नहीं भागना चाहिए, मोह माया अच्छी बात नहीं होती है, उसके पीछे नहीं जाना चाहिए. Now, these beliefs, if we've heard to these people in our childhood, then these beliefs get very strongly ingrained into our minds, that running behind money is a bad thing. Now, money in itself is not a bad thing. Money is just a tool. So it's all about how you use the tool. If you use the tool correctly, it can actually help you to live a happy, prosperous, and healthy life. And each one of us, me, you, the entire planet, people actually, they all deserve to live a happy and a prosperous life. But it's only these, series of limiting beliefs that are in our minds. And these beliefs essentially force us to think in a particular manner. Like, for example, if my belief is that people are not good, every time my thought around any new person coming to my life is, there's always this doubt, is this a good person or a bad person? And if that person even tries to do something good for me, my first thought would be that, why is he doing why is he being so good to me? What is he really looking for? Is there some hidden agenda behind it? So my thoughts are all driven by my beliefs. And, based on what I think, I act. And based on my actions, I get my results. So it's really our internal world which drives our external world. Now, what most people try to do is they try to fix the outside. They try to fix something outside. They try to fix, they try to probably attend a program on managing money, or they try to attend, some kind of a seminar to fix things, So these are quick fixes, but unfortunately, they don't work too long, because if the patterns inside are not changing, then the outside results would not change. In fact, I've even seen bankers struggling in the area of money. Can you believe it? Bankers, financial planners, MBAs in finances, PhDs in finances, even these people struggling in the area of money. And that is essentially because they have not understood the secrets of, making the rich, becoming rich and wealthy. And it's essentially the mindset. It's about what you think, and those thoughts are clearly, driven by your beliefs. So it's all driven by your beliefs. Your beliefs are really the operating system which is running your computer. It's your internal programming which is really driving your actions, your thoughts and actions. And until you don't change the internal patterns, things really don't change in the outside. Okay? So let me go. So it's not. Let me answer. Finish answering the question here. So that is why it is not connected with education. It's not connected with whether you come from a city, whether you're coming from a village. It doesn't matter whether you are very influential. It doesn't matter. Money is a very different topic, and it's all driven by your belief systems. It's what's there inside you which really drives your outside. Okay. So let's go to the next question. There's this gentleman who's asked that I've completed one of your programs and I'm doing the daily practices. Though he's attended the Mind Power program, we really have two programs, two core programs. One is called the Mind Power Unlimited program, which focuses on essentially developing your mind, using your mind effectively to create the life you want. And the second program that we have is called the Millionaire Mind Unlimited Workshop, which essentially helps you to work on the belief systems around money, on identifying what are those specific beliefs that are holding you back, identifying them and fixing them. We actually help you to break those beliefs in the workshop itself. So we teach you some very, very powerful techniques which help you to first identify the beliefs and then learn how to break those beliefs. Okay. So he's done the Mind Power workshop. He's saying that I'm doing the daily practices. I'm not getting the results in the money area of my life. In fact, my bank balance is getting lesser and lesser. Please guide me if I'm mistaken somewhere. So again, this goes back to the first question which I had answered. You need to check what are your thoughts around money? What are your beliefs around money? What are your feelings around money? Like when you're holding money in your hand, when you're giving money to somebody, when you're receiving money, what's the feeling that you have? When you go for shopping, when you shop something, do you feel guilty at the end of doing the purchase? Do you feel pain when you're paying your electric bills? When people are charging you money and you're feeling painful when you're giving money? Remember, all these are emotions connected with money. So if our emotions and if our thoughts and if our feelings around money are negative, obviously they give out a negative signal, a negative vibration, which in turn will attract those kind of situations which will not help you to improve your money situation. Whatsoever you try, howsoever amount of hard work you put in, obviously we need to work hard. But if the hard work is aligned with the mind, creating the right kind of mindset, that hard work will actually pay off and give you results. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. Let's see, we'll go on to the next question. Okay, this gentleman is asking, people run around money all their life. It's almost like a rat race, he says, and I'm really sick and tired running behind money all my life. I've been struggling, all my money, all my life around money, and nothing really seems to be changing. Okay, so he says, how does one achieve financial freedom? First of all, he says, what is financial freedom, and how can one achieve financial freedom? So, financial freedom, in simple words, is essentially a situation where you don't have to work for money. Money is working for you. When money is working for you, it means that there is certain investments you've done, you put money in certain places, which is giving you passive income. There are two types of income. One is known as the active income. Second is known as the passive income. Active income is the income for which you have to actually work, and unless you don't work, you don't get the money. For example, the day a doctor doesn't go to his clinic, his income stops, because unless he's not doing his work, he won't get the money, right? If the person is doing a job, unless the person is not at his job, he or she is not going to get paid. So that is called active income. Whereas the second type of income is called the passive income, wherein passive income is income which is generated without working. So essentially, let's say you invested some money in a property and where you're getting rent. Now, whether you work or not, you are going to get that money. If you invested money in stock, you're going to get dividend, whether you work or not. Similarly, there are various different instruments wherein people invest and they get returns. Now, if the passive income, let's say your monthly expenditure is for 1 lakh rupees. And from your different sources of passive income, if you are able to exceed 1 lakh rupees per month, let's say you're getting 1 lakh from different sources like rent, equity, dividend, different places. When you add up all this together, if it is more than 1 lakh, then you don't have to work anymore for taking care of your lifestyle. So if you need a lakh of rupees to live a good lifestyle, and if that is all coming from passive income, then you're in good shape. That means you're financially free. Now, how does one get to financial freedom? So the question to your initial, the answer to your initial question is, how does one get out of the rat race? The answer to that is that creating passive incomes, which will help you to actually create money without working for it. Now, for that, obviously, first step is to work on your inside, so that you're able to attract more active income, that you're able to earn more money into your life, and then you're able to save a part of that money, invest it in the right place. Also, make sure that your mindset is in the right place before you invest money, because people having a wrong mindset, they tend to put money in the wrong places. They tend to attract the wrong builders, the wrong investments. So, assuming that your mindset is right, you have a certain amount of money which you put aside every month, invest it correctly, and the corpus grows to an extent where the passive income which you receive every month exceeds your expenses per month. When that situation arrives, you are financially free. So, I would like to suggest to you that if you can join one of our workshops, like the Millionaire Mind workshop, which is coming up on November 25th and 26th, if you can join the workshop, you will exactly get the path on how to achieve financial freedom. How to first fix the internal programs, how to create the right kind of habits, how to actually manage your money well, so that you can actually work towards financial freedom, which should really be the end goal for everybody. People uh, otherwise are not able to get out of rat races, and I've seen that people, when they get into when they're senior citizens, even when they're senior citizens, they're still dependent on their own children. And if they're not planned correctly, they get into a very sorry situation where they have to actually even beg and plead for money. So it's not a very good situation to be in. So one of our biggest goals, for each one of us should be to become financially free as quickly as possible. Now, for me, I learned these things very late in life, but for the young people out there who are working and earning a good amount of money, because you get good salaries nowadays, if you're able to plan it properly, if you're able to create the right mindset, I would say that becoming financially free in about 10 to 15 years is not a difficult thing today. But if you start early, the earlier you start, the better. So I would urge even the youngsters here to actually go through the financial education workshop that we have, to really help you to create the right kind of mindset when it comes to money. Otherwise, what most people do is, as their salary increases, their desires and their expectations increase, which obviously we all want to live a good life, but they would end up taking EMI after EMI after EMI, and first for the car, then for the home, then for children's education, then for sending them abroad. So unfortunately, what happens is that they are not able to come out of this rat race. They are essentially stuck in, like Robert Kiyosaki says, that we end up essentially working for three people. One is our boss, because unless we don't work for our boss, we won't get any money. Second is we work for the government, because even before the money comes into your account, the taxes will obviously get deducted and go to the government. And the third is you're working for the bank, because whatever money is left is now spent in basically fulfilling your EMIs and all of that. So people are not able to get out of this rat race because they've not planned their finances, they've not developed the right kind of mindset. So I think it's a critical piece of education that is lacking in our, normal traditional education. Nobody teaches in school, what is the mind, how powerful is the mind, how to use it effectively, how to make sure that you're taking care of your money, how can you take care of your health using mind. None of those things are taught in school, and essentially people end up struggling all their lives. It's such a sorry thing to see, that very talented people also struggling in the area of money. Yeah. So hopefully that answers this question around financial freedom. Let's go to the next question. This is a somewhat more serious situation that this gentleman is in. He says, my situation is worsening day by day, and I have a sinking feeling, this feeling of sinking, where I'm not sure whether I will ever be able to come out of my debts. He is in probably a lot of debts right now. Income is going down, expenses are going up. the death is rising day by day. I'm also contemplating giving up my life because I'm unable to bear the pressure. There's just too much pressure from all sides. Can I be saved from this situation? So first of all, I would like to thank you for having the courage to share this question with us. It's not a very easy situation to share what's going on in your life in your life with somebody else. So I salute you for that. And my answer to that is that giving up your life is not going to be the solution. Actually, that is only going to worsen the situation. There is definitely a solution out of this, because essentially what has been created in your life is because of the wrong thought process around money, the wrong beliefs, the wrong actions. There is something we did in the past, right? As a result of which we landed up in this situation. But this situation can change in this moment. The moment you start thinking the right way, taking the right kind of actions with money, your situation will definitely change. We had one participant, his name was Sanjay Kothari. In fact, his testimonial is there on our YouTube channel. If you have time, please take a look at it. This gentleman, he was in a huge debt of almost about 48 lakhs. He didn't even know that he's in that huge debt, okay? Because after he came to our workshop, he actually started doing the net worth calculations. He started trying to find out where is his current position. So when he did that, he found out that he was minus 48 lakhs. And he was in such a turmoil and such a situation where he said that I literally want to give up my life. It's just too difficult for me to handle the situation. Luckily, he attended the workshop. He started following the practices. And at the end of a couple of, I remember it was about almost a year or so, where he was able to completely come out of that situation. And today he is a much more happier person, much more prosperous. He's bought a couple of properties. And today he is almost plus 3 crores, which I would assume that it's a very, very good result. There was another doctor, dentist, she said, I used to get money like every single day in my life. And obviously for doctors, it's more about cash coming into their lives. But she says that in spite of all this money coming, it never used to stay. So she also, when she did this workshop, she found a huge shift in how she actually, thought in the area of money, how she acted in the area of money. And today she is in surplus, where she was also in huge debts, and now she is in surplus. So a huge shift can happen in your life. So my suggestion is that do contact our team. If you're in a very severe situation, we'll see what we can do to help you with your fees. But do come into this workshop, the Millionaire Mind Workshop, work on your mindset, and you will be able to turn around your life. 100%. There is no doubt about it. Okay. So let's go to the next question. This question is around, the title is No Desire to Make Money. Okay. So she says that, I want to live a very prosperous and a rich life. I want it badly, but somehow I'm not able to keep my desire strong. I keep going down my efforts of creating more wealth. What can I do to break this pattern of slowing down? What can I do to create a solid desire to really make things happen? Now, desire is, first of all, thank you so much for sharing this question. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. Contrary to what is said, that desires bring pain. But remember that desire is the starting point of anything. If you really want to be happy, even that's a desire. If you want to, be prosperous, that's also a desire. The wrong desires create problems. We could probably reword that the wrong desires create more pain. But the right kind of desires are required. So if you want to be a prosperous, live a prosperous life, the desire should be very strong. There has to be almost like a burning desire. When I say burning, it doesn't mean burning in the stomach. Okay, it means there's this passion about being rich, being successful, living a full life, living a prosperous life. Unless this desire is not there, it's very, very hard to get into action. So I would like you to check your beliefs, around money, because sometimes we have these beliefs coming from our childhood. पैसे के पीछे मत भागो, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है, ये नहीं करना चाहिए, पैसा इंसान को बिगाड़ देता है, मोह माया में मत पड़ो, हम है ना सिर्फ इतना डिजर्व करते हैं, हम छोटे लोग हैं, वो बड़े लोग हैं, अच्छी चीजें सिर्फ उनके लिए होती है, वो हमारे लिए नहीं है, हमें अपनी चादर पैर सिर्फ इतने फैलाना चाहिए जितनी हमारी चादर है. ये सारी जो हमारी belief systems, all these belief systems which are created in our childhood, actually stop us from creating this desire. For me, what had happened is, there used to be big fights around money when I was very young. And those fights, I remember, actually put something in my mind that money is bad. Money creates fights, money creates tensions in the family, and all of that. And I had this belief system that money means problem, money means root of all evil. And as a result, I never really paid attention to money in my business, in my career. And what used to happen is that, in spite of tons of money coming in, I used to always get into challenges around money and was not able to solve it until about 10 years back, when I realized that it was my programming which was really affecting. It was not my karmas, it was not my destiny, it was essentially my programming which was affecting my money life. Okay? So the question was that, how do I create more desire? The other thing to create desire is to really have a strong purpose, have a strong purpose on why you want to create this money. Now, if your purpose around creating money is that around, creating a more happy life, more fulfilled life for yourself, for your family, for your children, giving them the best, and also for making a difference to, the community at large. If you have a really, really strong purpose, then you are motivated to get up and do things. So please check your purpose also. It's not only about making money, but how strong is your desire, how strong is your purpose behind this making the money. Okay. So if your desire is strong, you will actually start focusing on creating and taking action around. Please check not only what you want, but why you want it. And also check your belief systems around money. Please do attend our Millionaire Mind workshop if you get a chance, because there we'll help you identify which exact belief. It's a pretty detailed process which we take you through in understanding those subconscious beliefs which are holding people back. Okay. Great. So let me go to the next question. Okay. This person says, I've been working for over 15 years now, and the struggle for money has been a continuous process. Okay. Why is this happening, and what can I do to change this situation? Well, I believe this question is already answered. That, if the situation around money is not changing, it's essentially because our thought process has not changed. Our mindset has not changed. So you must have heard the saying, change your thoughts, change your life. So essentially what they mean here is that unless we don't have a thought process of that of a millionaire, a millionaire thinks in a different manner. A millionaire would do things in a different manner. A millionaire would act in a different manner. So unless we don't really copy those people who are really rich and prosperous, we subconsciously copied the wrong people. Maybe we copied our parents who are not so really rich and prosperous. Maybe we copied somebody who we adored and who we envied, and they were not so rich and prosperous. Maybe we copied somebody else. Now we need to do, that was called monkey see, monkey do, Essentially, when we are little children, we are watching and doing. We're watching and doing. So what our parents did is something we always do unknowingly. Like for example, if our parents are savers, if they always believed in saving money, you will find that you are also saving money, because it's monkey see, monkey do. If you saw that when you were very young, if you saw that your parents believed in, having fun, because I've seen a lot of people who say, ऐश करो, पैसा है तब तक ऐश करो, पता नहीं कल होगा कि नहीं होगा, लक्ष्मी चंचल होती है, आज है कल नहीं है, पैसा तो आता है और जाता है. These kind of beliefs when people have, they very, very unknowingly, they are not able to pay attention to the money in their life. They take all the kind of wrong decisions. They also attract the wrong kind of people and situations, and nothing changes in their life. So my suggestion to you is to work on your mindset, to really work hard on creating the mindset of a millionaire. Okay. So, and you can always come into our workshop to really learn how to do that. Okay. But it's essentially connected with the thought process. It's got nothing to do with your karmas or destiny and all of that. People say that, इसका मतलब ये है कि सब कुछ हमारे हाथ में. Like if you are saying that, everything is in my hands, that my destiny is in my hands, then are you saying that everything is in your hands? Well, it's really a co-creation process. Nothing is fully in our hands. Nothing is fully in the Almighty's hands. Now, if somebody says that my karmas are bad, and if this person just sits at home doing nothing, even God cannot help him. But if there is a person who is doing hard work and he says that I don't care what God does, I will only keep doing my stuff. And if he or she believes that everything is created by him or her, that's also wrong. Yeah, it's almost like if you put a seed in the ground, your job is to put the seed in the ground. Your job is to water the seed, to make sure that the seed germinates. But how the seed germinates into a beautiful plant is not in your hands. So it is a co-creation process. Your job is to decide what you want, take action on it, keep doing what you can, do your best, but leave the results to nature. Because the Almighty, the Divine, is the one who really decides what comes into your life. And how things change in our life is, when the right time comes, the right knowledge comes into your life. So when the right knowledge comes, so like if you're listening to this seminar and if you catch hold of something, if there's some awareness that comes into your life that, oh my God, my life is, I'm having financial problems because of so and so, so and so, the awareness itself shifts your beliefs. You would start getting aware, you would start thinking, you would more understand why things are happening the way they're happening in your life. And sometimes the beliefs would just shift, beliefs would break just by bringing awareness. So when the awareness comes, when the knowledge comes, when your consciousness rises, you see your life changing. And I believe that there's always a right place and right time for the right knowledge to come into your life. So it's always said, that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So you get the knowledge in some form in your life, and you're able to come out of those problems. Okay. Great. Let's go on to the next question. I think we're almost done. We have two more questions now. There's one gentleman who says, not no success. That's like. So he says that I love what I'm doing. So obviously he's following his passion. I have fabulous talent when it comes to money. I have fabulous talent, he says. He's really talented, he's really skilled. But he says when it comes to money, nothing seems to work. People say that do what you love and money will follow. You're right, actually. What you're saying is absolutely right, that when you love doing what you do, you will attract money to your life. So then his question is that, but nothing of this sort is happening in my life. I'm following my passion. I'm really talented in what I do. I'm really skilled. But nothing is working in my life. No, the money is not coming. I'm losing my patience and getting frustrated and depressed. Now, this is something I've seen very commonly in people who are following their passion. For example, there's a painter who's following his passion, painting. He loves painting. Okay? He loves painting. He would probably keep doing painting for 24 hours and not get tired. But remember that hard work success doesn't come just simply by doing hard work. Success comes in by following principles of success, by controlling your mind. So what happens to most of these people who are talented, who are very skilled, who are passionate about their work, is that they're not able to control their emotions. A moment, I'll just take some water. So when they're not able to control their emotions, when difficult situations come up in their life, they're just not able to control their minds. Now let's say that this painter or a singer or dancer or cricketer, he or she is following her passion, and while they're on the path of trying to achieve success, everybody faces roadblocks. Everybody faces challenges, and in this challenging times, it's so critical to be able to control your minds, to be able to overcome the challenges and the situations that come up in life. And that is why very few people are actually able to rise to the top. Very few people are able to actually overcome the obstacles that come in the path of achieving success. So it's not only about being talented. It's not only about following your passion. It's not only about loving what you do, but it's also about the ability to control yourself, you control your emotions, control your minds, not giving up. The whole talent about not the whole attitude about not giving up, keeping on persisting, having the courage, the determination to keep persisting. That's what really brings success. So I would like to tell you that you will have to do a little bit of work on your mind. Because when you get depressed, when you get sad, when you get frustrated about your works, I'm sorry to say, but it adds more and more frustration. You will attract only more situations in your life, more circumstances in your life, which would actually create more challenging situations. So while we're very, very passionate about what we do, we also need to learn two things. One is how to learn how to control our mind, and two is learn the laws of success. So the program which I would suggest for you is the Mind Power Unlimited program, wherein we actually teach you how to control your mind, how to use your mind effectively. And two is we also share with you the laws of success. The laws of success are like laws of nature. Unless we don't follow the laws of nature, things seem to go against us. So similarly, the laws of success are also iron laws of the universe. So unless we don't follow them correctly, success becomes very difficult in life. So let me check if there are any more questions. Okay, there's this one last question. There's this one lady who says, my husband is just not willing to put money into stock market. And I know that that's where maximum returns are possible, but he just won't do it. What can I do to convince him? Now, from what you've listened so far, I'm sure you would have probably got the answer. If your husband is averse on putting money into stock markets, it is probably because he has a strong belief systems that people lose money in stock markets. It could be that he has already experienced this in his life. He's probably tried to invest some money earlier and lost all the money. Or he's probably seen other people losing money and, in stock markets and really doing bad in their life. So when a person believes that investing in stock markets is risky, investment world is complex, I'm not a good investor, I just don't want to get into these, high risk investments. If that's the belief, the person will knowingly or unknowingly stay away from the stock market. He or she will have so much fear inside that for that person to overcome the fear is very, very difficult. So the only way for this person is, your husband to really come out of this situation is more education. More education on stocks, the understanding of how it works, creating the millionaire's mindset. So maybe you can recommend him to come to our Millionaire Mindset program, where we will definitely work on his beliefs and make sure that he believes that investing in stock market is not really a bad thing. People have become millionaires and billionaires investing in stocks. So it's only about doing it the right way. It's not about doing it or not doing it, but it's about doing it the right way. And it's all connected with our mindset. Okay. So my strong suggestion to each one of you who has not attended this program is that do try and come whenever you have time. But this is a very critical piece of information. While we get so much education in schools and colleges, a lack of this piece of education gives a lot of stress. And as you may have noticed that, not having money is not a good situation to be in. Like my friend says that, when you are successful, the world is introduced to you. And when you are a failure, when you're a success, you are introduced to the world. And when you're a failure, the world is introduced to you. So you see that when money goes away, even the friends start departing you, even your own relatives start departing you because they don't want to part with their money. And people don't look at you the way. You have to keep on compromising different areas of your life. Even if you want to buy something good for your family, it's difficult for you to do that. If you want to really fulfill your dreams around, fulfilling your mental capacities, you want to increase your mental capacities. Now that requires traveling, that requires attending workshops, that requires buying books. So if you don't have money, that's not going to happen. Okay? And at the end of the day, if you want to even do good work, let's say you want to do charity, or you want to, build a old age home or a orphanage or anything to help community, doesn't that require money too? Yeah, so money is not really a bad thing. Money is a great tool to have. It's all about how we use the money. And all of us deserve a fantastic, a prosperous, happy life. And hence, I would urge all of you to join us on November 25th and 26th, where we have our Millionaire Mindset program. In fact, we also have a webinar coming up on this Sunday. It's at 7 p.m. on Sunday, where I will take the participants through an understanding of what we're going to cover in the workshop, so that you can live happier, healthier, and more successful lives. Okay, so let me just check the comments that I have received right now and see if there are any questions. Okay, there's Deepen who's asking, while visualizing, it's always a distraction from our other thoughts. How can we visualize with concentration? Well, visualization, one of the keys to visualization is that your mind has to be calm and peaceful, which means your mind needs to be in the alpha state. Alpha state is the state where your conscious mind is kind of relaxed and the logical mind is almost kind of gone to sleep. And when you do it in that situation, your logical mind and your which is generating all these thoughts will not really affect you in the visualization process. So just take the state which you are in while you're doing your visualization. That is definitely going to help you in doing a visualization right. So let me just give you a few moments. Let me see if I can get a few questions here. Okay. Okay, just give me a few moments, please. Okay, Prashit here is asking a similar question. Also, can you suggest a method to eliminate distracting thoughts while concentrating? So I would suggest, again, concentration is dependent on, essentially how busy is your mind. So I would suggest to concentrate, you can use the concentration technique, essentially observe at the end, you take like concentration circle, paste it on your softboard, and if you can observe the circle for about 3-4 minutes before you begin your work. Or another simple method is that if you can do, about 2 to 3 minutes of breathing, just close your eyes and stay focused on your nose. Just breathe and pay attention to your breathing. That will actually bring you to your, very calm and a peaceful state. And that's what's going to help you to actually, remove some distracting thoughts. So 2 things you can do. 1 is you can have a concentration circle. 2 is you can actually close your eyes and do almost about 3 to 4 minutes of deep breathing and just concentrate on your nose. You just concentrate on your nostril. Just pay attention to your breath going in, out, in, out. In about 3 minutes, your mind will completely calm down. And the third option is you can also use this mudra, which is called the Dhyan mudra, or it is also known as the Gyan mudra. So when you use this mudra, you will see your mind will calm down, your brain will calm down, and you will see that you will be able to concentrate on your task. Okay, so hope that answers your question. We'll just take 2 or 3 more questions. Okay, so I guess I'm not able to see the questions. Deepen, I think, has just added a comment that I do it every day after meditation, but still lots of thoughts. So Deepenji, my suggestion is practice this for some time. Meditation, practice of alpha state. It takes a while, so please don't give up, concentrate and practice this for a month, 2 months, and you will slowly see that things will improve. Okay. Great. So I think we'll bring this session to an end. I see a few more questions pending, but we will take up these questions in the next Q&A. We will also try to answer your questions through the comment section. So once again, thank you all so much for giving your time, your valuable time. staying with us through this hour. I hope that you're enjoying these Q&A sessions and they're valuable to you to some extent. If you do have any feedback or any comments to make these sessions more meaningful, do let us know. I would also suggest, while some people are asking questions online, I would also suggest that please send the questions beforehand, because it just helps us to organize the questions and lay them out in a proper manner so that we're able to answer all these questions. So for all those people who have missed answering, we'll try to do it in some way or the other, either through the comment section or we'll take it up in the next Q&A. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening, and I wish you all the best. And I wish that each one of you lives a happy, prosperous, and a healthy life. Thank you so much. God bless you. And looking forward to see you once again on the Q&A, episode 3. Or you can also join us on the live webinar on the Millionaire Mindset Workshop, which is happening this Sunday on 29th at 7 p.m. Okay, the post is there on Facebook. So kindly follow the post and join us for that webinar. Thank you so much. God bless you and wish you all the best.